Hard out, hard in. That's how I do things here. I haven't learned the eases and outs quite yet still. And I know it's been like 7 months and I still don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. So I brought people with me that do know what they're doing. Yeah, I think I said that right. But let me introduce them. Then I'll do my plugs and we'll say hi to the chat. First off, we're going to bring in Abby. I bet she thought I was going to introduce Craig first. Oh, and you're muted. Do I have to bring Craig in order to hear the sound? Oh my God. Craig ruins everything. God damn it,
Already
Craig.
to begin with.
There we go. Craig set it up that way. He's just like,
I control everything.
Yeah, you're like the Sea Witch.
No, I'm like the Riddler.
You're like
No, I'm
Ursula.
like the Riddler.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you two for coming and hanging out tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Are you ready to be trailer trash with me as we talk about the Flash trailer?
Yes.
Oh.
Let's get trailer trashed.
That's
I'm excited. I think
it's not a trash trailer. It's just
no.
We're just trash talking about trailers.
My I feel like movie trailers are one of my favorite things in the world. Looking forward to a trailer sometimes is better than the movie itself. You want to see that footage, those scenes.
Yeah.
You want to start speculating. Once the movie's
Man
out,
of Steel comes to mind.
Oh, I was so okay.
Yeah.
When I saw I was literally okay. What year is Man of Steel? 2013?
14?
14, something like that. I just remember telling everybody who would listen to me. This is before there was podcasts. Well, I mean, there was podcasts. This is before we were doing podcasts. Before toy anxiety.
Before we did it, they didn't exist.
Yeah. And anybody who would listen to me, I would be like, I guarantee it. Post-credit scene. Christian Bale is back. And it's going to be, they're going to set up, they're going to continue the Nolan verse. And I was wrong. I was so wrong.
Dude, we were all wrong. I went in there thinking like, this is going to be the greatest movie of all time. And by the end, I just about walked out until my buddy was like, no.
Oh, so you hate
You
Man
were
of
early
Steel.
on wanting to walk out. Okay.
Can we talk about
actually,
that?
Here's where I didn't realize it was the end of the movie. And that's when I was about to like walk out. So before the credits. And I was just like, okay, I'm done. I can't do this. I can't. This is like, no. It's like the point I started wanting to walk out, like thinking about walking out, was the tornado scene, and I was already like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this is Superman. No, why is this John Cannon a piece of shit? What's going on?
Yeah. What a weird out. I feel like that version of Pa Kent must have had some other stuff going on. He needed to peace out. He had some gambling debts.
However,
quick exit.
However, Henry Cavill is a beautiful man.
He's great.
Oh yeah, I love the Cavill.
I heard he might come back.
Try to focus. Great soundtrack too. Man of Steel has a great soundtrack.
So I remember being very excited. I feel like I liked it, but it could have been one of those things where I was convincing myself I liked it because I wanted it to be the Batman Begins of Superman.
Right, I get that.
But it's not a movie I've revisited many times.
I don't even think I've revisited it since.
Oh, we should watch it.
Yeah.
We should. And we'll watch Joker with Lexi. And I'll watch Aquaman. I've never watched that one yet either.
Has Lexi not seen Joker?
Oh,
no, but she's excited for Joker too.
Okay,
well, yeah, do a Joker watch. We'll talk about it.
Joker watch 2023.
We were.
So I do want to do some.
Oh yeah. No, go for it.
I do want to do some quick plugs. Just right before I say hi to the chat. So we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're almost at 600. And once we get to 1,000, I got prizes lined up. I'm going to do the old Geek Dad Life toy anxiety. Get you in here. Bribery with prizes for the people that are part of the show and hanging out. So on top of the, what else? I got superpowers. I've got signed prints from artists. I'm going to be there's going to be exclusive crew merchandise from across the Spider-Verse. that will be part of the prizes, as well as the art of Across the Spider-Verse. And I also got some statues that were donated as well that will also be prizes later on. But you know what? We can't win them, folks, until we hit 1,000.
Gotta hit 1,000.
We could start winning some prizes. I probably should have made myself big for all these.
No, you're good.
I'm not used to this.
Ryan, you're larger than life already.
Oh,
yeah, you're doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, and
you're shilling out. You're giving away prizes.
That's right. That's how we do here. Gotham shilling tonight. That's what we do.
I'm excited. I want you to hit 1,000. I think you're going to do it very soon, and I think everybody who's here needs to hit that subscribe button and then tell a friend. Imagine if everybody here told one friend.
That would be everybody.
Yeah, that would be everybody.
But let's say a quick hi to the chat. We got Flash739, Cougar McKillicuddy, My Hero and Yours, Matt Bush, Skylar Davis, Derek Hoover, Richard CPL, Borzu, King of Surge, PKE Surge. If you are a Ghostbusters fan and you ever go to Atlanta during Dragon Con, this is your man. He's going to get you organized and set up. Borzu, coming right at you. Monsters from Beyond is here. Chunovo, Smoketown, and Vinkman de Santiago are all here. Toy Art is here. If you are not following him on Instagram, please do. If you like wrestling and art, he is doing some amazing portraits of wrestlers on his Instagram. Please go check it out. We've got Bat Boy Versus. And we got Harry Dempsey here. Shiny Plastic People. He is here with us. And also go check out his toy review YouTube page as well. He's going to buy the stuff I don't have the room for. So you can go check out his review on the McFarlane Batwing, the Batmobile, all the McFarlane stuff I have no intention of buying and talking about. This is going to be your guy to go to, because it sure as heck won't be me. But go check it out. His videos are actually phenomenal. So please, please, please go check it out. Justin Nicolosi is here. Thanos Copter, thank you for being here. Awesome. I think from here I can do the and so ons, except for Craig Dukas. And Jacob's not here. I invited him. He said no.
Well, he's celebrating his birthday, Ryan.
Well, that's true. That is true.
That's funny.
So awesome. Thank you everyone for being here and hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah.
It means a lot. But yeah, yesterday. So not only did we have an episode of Toy Anxiety and Extreme Toy Anxiety that was off the rails.
It was very fun.
Yeah, we had
it was
fun.
really good.
It was a lot of fun. The Flash trailer dropped.
And they screened the whole movie at CinemaCon.
And they screened the whole movie. I should have probably brought up some reviews to read.
Well, we'll stay spoiler free, except for what's in the trailer, and we haven't seen the spoilers. But I think the general consensus coming out of CinemaCon was that it was great. People love The Flash. Some are saying one of the best superhero movies of all time.
Do you think that's hyperbolic? Do you think that could be a nostalgic reaction to seeing Keaton as Batman again?
So, as somebody who was fortunate enough to attend like a fan screening of Ghostbusters Afterlife pre-release, and I know CinemaCon's a completely different thing. I think hype and starry-eyed nostalgia is definitely part of it. I also think people really want to see a big win for DC, because I think there's a general hype and excitement for the James Gunn universe that's about to launch. And also, I think there's a really great chance that Andy Muschietti made a great movie.
There's a good chance of that.
And I hope that's what it is. I hope it's like, I'll say this. I really liked Ezra Miller's performance in the Justice League movie. I thought it was the standout perforance. And
which one? Both of them? I know you love both of them.
Well, I don't know if I love either of them, but I like the Snyder cut. Like I don't get online and do hashtags about it. I don't threatened to go to Comic-Con with like a plane and a banner trying to bring back the Snyderverse, but I like
or other things.
or whatever else they're doing. But I like it, and I think that we're all who's not excited to see Michael Keaton back as Batman. That's great. What I'm excited about is that it looks like the execution is there. I know we're gonna get into it, but it looks like there's gonna be some nice poignancy in this movie, some really great visuals, and a really cool story that might just be a standalone. It just might be a great standalone one-off great superhero movie that's not obsessed with setting up the future and having little Easter eggs that have no payoff, I
think it's going to have all of that, Craig, but at the same time, it can have all of that.
Yeah.
While still standing on its own. I do want to bring this over to Abby now, because Abby is in a completely different mindset than us.
Yeah.
Craig. And I want to get into Abby's
I'm
thoughts.
not necessarily lapping this up and like just going to town like the two of you are. I'm trying to like just go to town.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do is separate my personal feelings about Ezra Miller and just their personal life. And I'm hoping that this movie is its own transformative, exciting experience that I'll be able to watch, and that it's so good that I'll be able to kind of set feelings aside for the time I'm watching it. And that it will kind of take me further and like beyond that place that I'm in. And having it be just a standalone, like you're saying, Craig, would be the right thing in my mind to do. Like it was filmed, it's here. Let's see it. I'm not looking for more Ezra Miller performances. I think that they need to probably like have some chill time. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to boycott this movie.
No, I think they need to lock Ezra up for a 5-picture deal.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't think that.
Yeah.
Well,
things like Michael Keaton, definitely cool. Like, love to see that. I think he's a fantastic Batman. He may not be my personal Batman.
Right.
And that's what,
that's okay.
what Craig was saying, like, who doesn't want that? And I'm like, it doesn't necessarily get me super hyped. I'm really hyped for the next Guardians movie to come out. I know that's not what we're talking about. I know this is a DC
No, it's
show.
fine. We dabble in some Marvel over here in Gotham City.
Yeah. So that's where like my money's on the next Guardians.
That's where your hype train is.
Yeah, my
parking.
hype train is heading there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But this trailer was pretty exciting, I will say. It looks like a better offering than most of the recent DC movies that have come out. And I think that with the goodwill that I have towards James Gunn and what he's going to be doing or like reshaping things, it would be nice to have a good offering from like have this movie be a positive.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that as well. Like I'm actually with you on all of that. I think all of your points are very like spot on, because I think we should all be kind of feeling a little bit of like what's the word? Like we should be fighting it a little bit, because it is uncomfortable. We know what Ezra's been up to. It hasn't been good.
Yeah.
Right? It's been very, very public.
Yeah.
And
out of respect to the victims, that's kind of
Will Ezra Miller be able to not commit a crime before the next release?
Yeah.
Find out.
I'm just like, if that's in the workplace.
Tucker Carlson or Joker.
All of it. Same thing.
It's all of it.
Listen, here's the deal. DC Universe, that's a whole thing that's been up and down for the last, however, 7-8 years. We all know the stories. We all know where it's going. I have a feeling that this movie is going to exist as an anomaly. I don't believe that. Hi, Lexi.
Hey, Lexi.
Hi. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Surprise!
No, you're good.
Hello,
Hi.
friends.
I didn't think the Blue Beetle trailer was great, but I do think that movie could be great. I just didn't think the trailer was great. I know that I don't know if any of us saw the second Shazam movie, but it kind of didn't do well. So I think they're really gearing up for this next phase, and it's going to be all building up to that launch with Superman Legacy. And I think there's going to probably be some resetting going on. So having said that, I just hope this movie is fun as can be. and that it's a great time. And if this is the last time we ever see Michael Keaton as Batman, then it'll, by the looks of the trailer, it looks like what I'm excited about is seeing Batman drop out of the Batwing, and it's Michael Keaton. Like these are things.
Well, that's how they're marketing this
30 years ago.
If you're watching this trailer and you didn't know it was The Flash, you would probably go, "Wow, a new Batman movie," because that's how that's how they're getting you in there.
Yeah, he carries you through the trailer. Yeah,
absolutely. Lexi, welcome.
Hi.
It's very happy. So just in case, I know for a fact you two have not even met each other yet.
I know this is
everyone knows about each other. So Lexi, Craig, Lexi, Abby,
Hi.
Abby, Lexi. All right.
Hi.
We're talking about our first gut reactions of the Flash trailer before we break it down, get into the Easter eggs, get into those little fun things that we see.
Awesome.
I'm going to assume you watched the Flash trailer.
So full disclosure, I did just watch it while transferring from my other stream to this stream.
Got it.
Good, so it's fresh.
It's fresh. Yeah, it's fresh.
Super fresh.
Cool,
so what are those fresh thoughts in your head when you...
If honestly, I mean, I just heard kind of the tail of what you guys are talking about. If it weren't for Michael Keaton Batman, I don't think I would care about this movie like at all. I mean, in general, I'm not a fan of storylines where No Way Home kind of like looked like it was going to be one of those storylines too, and it ended up going a different direction, which was nice. But any storyline where the main character, the hero, does some sort of mistake in the beginning, and the entire plot of the movie is just to get back to square one. Those stories always feel like a waste of time to me. Because why did I spend 2 hours for us to get back to where we started? So I already know that, this is that brand of storyline. It's, I changed something, now I have to put it back, and we're going to get back to where we were before. The Kara, like her design and that, Femme Superman, I'm actually really excited about. I love it. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be enough to sell that entire movie to me, but like, I'm glad that she's there. Michael Keaton Batman. Like, I mean, he looked great in the trailer, actually. Like, I was afraid that it would feel very corny compared to all the other very modern young heroes that he's next to, because like that was just a different era of hero film. But it actually worked. I think they blended him in like really well. It felt consistent with the world. But yeah, I feel like it's not going to be like a great film. I think it's going to be a fun film. I think people are going to enjoy watching it. I think they're going to enjoy the nostalgia. They're going to enjoy the what ifs. I don't think the story is going to do anything spectacular. I don't think it's going to be a good film, but I think people will have fun.
You're right. Yeah. That's kind of what we're hoping. And I just want to buy the toys.
I can't find these.
I want to cosplay it. I want to cosplay that car really bad.
Yeah.
So
you should, yeah.
One of the things I was thinking of yesterday with Kara is I was really impressed. Like, that's a hard trailer for anybody to stand out. I mean, you're dealing with the return of Michael Keaton. I mean, one of the reasons for the last Ghostbusters movie, not to bring it to that all the time, but they didn't market that the original guys were in it, because the second you do that, you're overshadowing the new folks and the new cast and everything. But I think she looks awesome. And one of the
I'm really excited.
Yeah, that's a major draw factor for me.
An unfortunate tragedy if it's only a one-off for her, because it sounds like the Supergirl movie that James Gunn has planned is completely different.
Yeah, well, that was kind of my gripe with this Kara character. I'm actually kind of mad they named her Kara. I wish they just kind of committed it to being a femme version of Kal-El instead of being like a Kal-El looking Kara.
Right.
Because she kind of feels like a mix of the two characters instead of them really committing to her being one or the other. I wish they had just been like, no, this is Kal-El, but who happens to be female in this universe, instead of this is kind of a Kara that looks like her brother. So if we make her blonde and put her in a mini skirt, people are going to be confused.
Right. Ryan, do you think that, I wonder if the original plan, well, obviously when this movie was conceived, this was like, you got to remember Flash, this was supposed to come out 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Right. Like this was in its original form, just the next chapter of the universe that started with Man of Steel and all of that.
And there has been a lot of changes since then.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So,
and how it's kind of funny, like you said, like we're probably going to see maybe a much different movie than what was originally supposed to come out 2 years ago. And even still, like, I don't know. I am excited. I'm excited about all the Kara stuff. And even with Kara, like, they say it's a one-off, but if this movie does gangbusters and people talk about her, that's why Elseworlds exists.
Yeah.
We could get an Elseworlds Supergirl film or Superwoman film, sorry. And she could, you know, that would be a great way to introduce bring back Batgirl. Right, like there's ways again that I know we go back to Batgirl.
Go back to girl.
The show.
Go open what is it? Open the little trash can on the MacBook. Restore files.
Oh
Yeah.
What a shit show it's been. I have a feeling there's rumors. Okay, rumors, Twitter. I don't know, but I do have a feeling that one of the first things that happened when James Gunn and what's the other Peter Safran when they took over was, you know, Warner Brothers has been very high on this movie. Like this, there was, you know, Ezra Miller could have, you know, been murdering people in the streets, which it sounds like it got close. And they were going to put this movie out. And I bet James Gunn took an early look at it, maybe gave some of his own notes. I have a feeling, you know, they did the screening yesterday, but they did not show post-credit scenes, but there are going to be them. So there's going to be something that sets up some version of a next chapter. So it's all very intriguing and very interesting. I'm just bummed it's still 2 months away.
And this may be the like entertainment industry cynic in me, but I honestly feel like at this point, this movie is just we got to recoup our costs from the era of DC Cinematic that bombed on us. Or that didn't make the money we wanted it to. And it's going to be, all right, this is our last ditch effort to hope we just bring in a ton of income, throw in a post-credit scene that'll maybe get people hype about the new era, and then we can bury this entire generation.
Yeah, squeeze juice out of the asset.
Exactly.
But Ryan, I do agree with you. Like, if this movie comes out and is just like a box office behemoth and makes, you know, $500 million, they are going to, I mean, they're going to want to continue it.
Right.
In some way.
Yep.
And maybe it does become just an Elseworld sequel. Maybe they recast Flash. Maybe they just make it more focused on Kara, or maybe more Michael Keaton. Like, who knows? He's about to do Beetlejuice 2. He's not slowing down.
So. He's bringing them all back.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna disagree. I think only because it's James Gunn specifically, and like reading all his tweets and like reading his interviews, and of course he can do whatever, you know, it's gonna happen at the end of the day. He can change his mind, but I really feel like he has a strong creative vision that he's like, if we allow this cinematic universe to continue to exist in any way, which is why he was so hard on the casting and everything, that he really feels like it will just muddy this new thing they're trying to do. I really think he's gonna like 6 feet under, you know, lay the flowers on the grave, walk away from it.
Well, and also he's the CEO, so he can. Like,
exactly. He gets to, and having a CEO with that creative mind is like.
There was a thing on Twitter.
I think it's hot.
There was a thing on Twitter a couple weeks ago where somebody was asking James Gunn about who's going to give him notes on his Superman script. And he was like, nobody. I'm the boss.
Yeah, everyone's right.
And they were like, oh, yeah, well, what about Warner Brothers? He's like, DC Studios is a completely separate entity from Warner Brothers. Like, I'm the CEO. So.
I think it would have been cut. Do you know what would have made me like pop if he was just like, Paul Dini gives me notes? And if he was like Paul Dini, I would have been like, that's freaking cool. Where did he go? Oh, see,
I'm back.
I need Craig here to hear Abby.
I was coughing. I'm so sorry.
Am I seriously silent when he's gone?
Yeah, that's what you lose your voice when your husband
that's
leaves.
so wrong.
It's not a planned thing. It's the way our microphones are set. Right. We're lucky to be able to even figure out technology.
Happy to be here.
Right, I get it.
But I'm excited. I know that Abby and I have been butting heads on this trailer a little bit. Because Ryan, I texted you yesterday when I saw it. I said, oh, cool. My favorite movie of all time just got its second trailer.
I make a noise every time I see Ben Affleck. I'm like, oh, God.
I'm so excited about it.
And I give Craig major stuff because you're such an Affleck apologist. And I just I'm like not a fan.
Well, it's our fault that he cheated on his wife.
Time out.
First of all,
last thing I want to say is, and I don't want to take over this is your guys' show. Ben Affleck has literally won Oscars. This happens to me all the time. Lexi, I was
Winning
informed.
Oscars? Or
I win Oscars all the time.
He's won so many.
No, Lexi, before you got on, Ryan informed me you have never seen Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, which is
I have not. That is correct.
perfectly fine.
I'm going to.
So that's perfectly fine. I liked it and I enjoyed Joaquin Phoenix's performance. And Abby and Jake and other people, they give me a really hard time for it. And I'm like, guys, Joaquin Phoenix literally won an Oscar. I'm not the only one who liked Joker. Like, it's not just some weird edgelord thing that I'm doing. Like,
Or there are many weird edgelords. Like,
right. I've got a
possible.
whole group of weird edgelord dudes who support me.
Yeah,
at the Academy.
And they're all in Hollywood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, but I didn't mind that movie either. I went in with an open mind, and I kind of came out and was like, okay, because my biggest fear with Hollywood and Joker is that they're gonna do the Batman '89 thing, where it's like, this is his definitive origin story,
right,
and background, and I always hated that because I was like, I like the idea that you don't know what the real origin is.
The Joker doesn't even know what his real origin is anymore.
Mhm.
Right.
Ambiguity is like more terrifying, honestly.
Oh,
correct. Yeah, that absolutely. So that's why I was like, that when I came out of that movie, I was like, wow, they really like went places. This is going to sound awful. I was kind of hoping it was going to go, because if you're going to do a movie about a villain, I don't want to be comfortable. In fact, I don't even necessarily want to enjoy it. Like, as in, like, that's what a cool dude. Right? You want to go in there you want to leave not liking him. You want to feel uncomfortable and uneasy. There were times when, like, when I went to the opening night of it, there was like literally a dude who just like out loud went, "What the fuck? What?" Like, he was just like losing his mind. And it was like, that's what made it so good, because you heard people like clutch their pearls, and it was like, this is good. Right? Because it is like, again, I hate when they try to spotlight villains and people think, oh, villains, like, I'm going to just straight up say it, like Rick and Morty is a good example of that, where people are like, Rick is such a cool dude, and he's not. He's a piece of shit.
BoJack Horseman is another good example of that one.
Yeah.
You don't want to be like BoJack. That's not the point.
It's because you know what this is all about? This is because of The Sopranos and Breaking Bad. This all goes back to that, where the anti-hero became the person that the average television viewer is obsessed and wants to be, Tony Soprano or
and
whatever.
They thought they could be cool too.
Yeah. I think one thing I do like about Joker, it's pretty unapologetic in its influences. Like, it is a lot like Taxi Driver and
Memento and
King of Comedy and all that, but it knows it is.
I'm gonna say, for the record, I didn't love it. Like, it was kind of hopeless and just kind of trudging. Kind of a joyless watch for me. But
again, that's what I want from a villain movie. I don't want to have fun. Like, Harley is a villain. Well, was a villain. I don't know. I don't know what Harley's supposed to be anymore. Same with Poison Ivy. I really don't know. But at the same time, it's like the Joker is not them, if that makes sense, right? Like, Poison Ivy could be, like, they could make Poison Ivy absolutely frightening, but at the same time, you can go, she's not wrong though. But she got a point. She might be going about this the wrong way.
I have notes on her method, but like, she got a point though.
Yeah. Right.
It's like when those people go throw soup on those paintings.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
yes,
you shouldn't have
I see what
that
you're
painting.
doing.
You got a point.
But maybe murdering an entire park full of people is not the best way to go.
No, that's not. That's usually you're costing yourself your argument at that point. So
and the best part about Poison Ivy though is that she doesn't care. She's not here to argue with anyone,
Correct.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
She's not trying to convince people. She's trying to remove them. But that's what we say, so with her, like, that mentality, like, it tracks for the position she's in, for what she wants, for her backstory, who she is. Like, that behavior tracks for her. So we don't need to change it.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yep. I absolutely. And it's kind of funny now too, because now you got a whole generation of like new readers that are like on the social medias. So I remember like when Tom King did his storyline of the War of Jokes and Riddles, where the rogues pretty much either you sided with Joker or you sided with the Riddler, and there was like a gang war happening in Gotham. And
That's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And he made Poison Ivy like a full-on villain again. And Twitter, as Twitter does, went absolutely bonkers. Like, how dare you make her a villain? She's not a bad guy. And I just kind of realized, like, wait, we're now at a whole nother generation that have now come up with her as like an anti-hero and a Harley Quinn love interest.
Right.
And they don't know really like what she kind of used to really be.
Right.
And so when Tom King brought that back, and I remember like people going after Tom King, and I made a dumb idiot me who shouldn't have even gotten involved. Was all like,
responded to people on the internet.
I
We
did
talked about this.
I responded to Tom King in general, just like, hey, dude, I'm actually cool that you did this because I believe comics are so vast that there's enough space for for Ivy to be a hero. You could tell hero stories with her or be a villain. Boom! I was like just getting like, how dare you? That's a typical white cis male response. I was like, what is that supposed to mean? I'm just saying there's room in comics for all sorts of stories.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, all of these characters, and you guys know I'm not the biggest comics reader. My my knowledge of Poison Ivy starts with Uma and ends with Thurman, but it's and the
animated. I make you watch the animated.
I like
Harley
the
Quinn.
animated Harley
Yeah.
Quinn.
Animated
I think it's
Yeah, it's
so
great.
fun. It's just really fun. But I think like because the very nature of comic books and comic book characters are they're constantly being reevaluated and reinterpreted and written by new people and drawn by new people.
Mm-hmm.
And most people's definition of what a character is and what their motivations are, it's just their personal choice of what their favorite was or what the first one they were exposed to. And that also applies to movies. The discussion of who your favorite Batman is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm always going to say Michael Keaton because in the summer of '89, I was 6 years old. Like that is the nostalgia stamp was put on my brain, right?
Right. I'm falling in that same trap right now with Spider-Man, where I keep going, why are they doing this to Mary Jane right now in the comics? Like I'm literally like reading about it.
What are they doing?
I'm getting outraged and I like run into my room, I lay on my bed and I scream into my pillow.
You have a good Victorian cry about it.
Yeah.
Get your smelling salts.
I drape myself down the stairs.
Yeah.
We're like, Brian's locked in his room. We're like patting his head. It's like the fever hasn't broken yet.
Yeah.
You do the
Someone's
feelings
rubbing my
trend.
back.
You're running through the field.
Yeah.
It's like Little Women.
Yeah.
Sound of Music. All of them just combined.
Yeah, that's been me with the Spider-Man comics lately, and I keep trying to like tell myself like, hey, Dan Slott, like all that stuff with Brand New Day and the Erasing the Marriage happened over 10 years ago, which is insane. But in my brain, I'm still going like, no, it's Peter and Mary Jane. They're meant to be. Why are they doing this? Why? Like Dan Slott's been gone now for like years.
So
why aren't they back together? Like, come on. And I do the same thing with like a lot of stuff.
We all do.
And I think, we all do. And again, too, it's just like you said, like, to me, my first Batman will always be Keaton, but like my favorite Batman, the one that had the biggest impact on me was Kevin Conroy, and the Batman animated series. That's always going to be my number one. And again, too, like all of us have lived long enough to have our favorite James Bond and our favorite Batman. You know, like
And for some of us, it's Val Kilmer.
To be fair, my husband, I've never seen a James Bond movie, ever, a single one. My husband finally made me watch Casino Royale. So I have now seen a James Bond movie.
That's a good
I'm
one.
30 years old.
That's a good one.
Yeah, more recent is better.
Yeah, I agree. Pierce Brosnan's pretty good.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
But I'm never going to put on like...
I love a dumb action movie. I get super into it.
Like a 1960s James Bond movie and be like, it's just too late for me. I'm 40 years old. I'm not going to start now. I've got too many Flash trailers to watch. Talking about.
Yeah. There's at least two.
It's like Doctor Who. Like I went back to number 9. I can't go further than back. I don't have enough hours in the day.
Oh, okay. Did we ever try to do Doctor Who? Was that a thing?
Yeah, there was a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just too much. Yeah.
It's
It's a lot.
daunting.
It's
We're
a
It's
overwhelmed.
daunting. It's daunting, and I get that
Yeah.
way about certain like Star Trek and stuff. Like there are
Mhm.
certain properties I want to love and be into, but it feels like it's like I don't know where to start, and I get
Yes.
overwhelmed. So I just
Well, and that's
kind of
actually
keep it separate.
exactly the issue with comics, like kind of bringing it back full circle. It's the beauty and the frustrating part of it, especially with a character like Batman, who's been around for so long, has 10,000 Elseworlds, 10,000 resets. You know, one of my biggest pet peeves with discussing big comic characters like this with anyone is the use of the word canon.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
everything is canon at this point. Like it was
Right.
canon that he was Superman's half brother in a medieval universe. It's canon that he's a shitty dad. It's canon that he's a great dad. It's
Right.
canon that he is not a dad. You know, there
Mhm.
is no canon. It's all made up. Nothing is real. And it's not even like other types of fictional media where there's like a book and it's the book and there's the one book. And so you can be like, this is real, this isn't real.
Right.
I mean, this is just.
I'm gonna save that clip that you just did, and I'm gonna have that as a video reply for anything about Star Wars or
Yeah.
about Batman or
Yeah.
about like anything, and just be like, huh.
But I think
my-
comics are specifically hard to. Just going back to Batman, that's the example. Like it's been going on for over 80 years or 90 years or whatever it's been. So I think there was a long period of time where people consider it. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but just that core run of like 1980s into the 1990s Batman, where the Jason Todd stories and all of that stuff kind of felt like that's the one people gravitated towards for a long time as well. This is the real comic book story, you know,
Mhm.
everything after Silver Age. But then DC's reset so many times. And also, here's another thing that happens, and this is specific with our generation with nostalgia. Think about 1993, 30 years ago, feels like yesterday. And we talk about it like it was yesterday. We acknowledge all the things that happened in it like it was yesterday. But think about when you were in 1993 and your parents were talking about 1963 when the Beatles were breaking.
Mhm.
That feels like, well, that was when everything was in black and white and people were in horses and carriages.
There was
and
no
like,
electricity.
yeah. So it's like our perception of, you know, time and what people like. If you're 23 years old or 18 years old and you're into comics, you might have zero clue or interest about any storylines that happened post,
Yeah,
you know,
Dark
before
Knight
you were born.
Returns.
Which,
might be
and
like-
here's the part that
yeah.
hurts people the most is they're allowed to not care about that stuff.
Yes.
Right.
It's ever evolving.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I used to go through this a
Okay.
lot with Star Wars. I had a buddy who was younger than me who told me he's probably 7-8 years younger than me, and we'd argue all the time because he would say, well, Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars movie, and I would always be like, I don't understand, like my brain won't accept that. Now over time the prequels have become they've aged like a fine wine. I hear, I'm not a wine drinker, but that's what they say happens, and I get it, but mostly I understand it because if you were in 9th grade and when you saw Revenge of the Sith, that was like you don't care about
Oh, yeah.
slow
Whatever
ass,
hit you at the right time. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then formed.
A New Hope. It was like 55 minutes of dialogue. You want lightsabers and space battles.
Yeah.
So anyway, I digress.
And I would say, especially nowadays, like things like the Clone Wars exist and all these other things. Like to me, Clone Wars, once I watched all of that, redefined how I felt about the prequels. I was like very, very cold on the prequels. And then after I watched Clone Wars, I went back and saw the prequels with a whole new light. Suddenly, Anakin is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
You know,
dude.
suddenly like it changed. Like, and to this day, Clone Wars is my favorite piece of Star Wars media, and I stand by that. The Mandalorian is now a close second, more than any individual movie. I'm gonna say it. But Clone Wars, like, and so now you like, I think we forget too. We saw the prequels originally, and that was it. And we thought it was like we never thought. I never thought we were gonna get another trilogy and then series and this and that. I thought it was just gonna be books, you know, and video games for the rest of forever after that.
Right.
Because it went back, it kind of finished story, but like we got them in this vacuum of like ooh.
That's it?
But
This is
yeah,
it?
but
This is-
nowadays they get
yeah.
to watch the prequels and then watch Clone Wars and then the Ahsoka show coming out, Rebels exists, the games and like the new more modern books that feel like they have all this media to help fill in those holes. And sorry, I just had to say there's a comment that I just need to bring up because yes, the Kieran Gillen's Darth Vader run, the graphic novel, right?
Yep.
Incredible. The feelings I had about Vader reading that, so good. Can't recommend it enough. And like, I really think it's important to like think about modern or new or young or however you want to think of it, fans, as being able to experience the prequels in this way with everything surrounding it, and it's a different experience.
Yeah, with context and things filled in like that. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Like my feelings about the prequels, I mean, I've always had like a soft spot for them, but I did watch like all of Clone Wars and I loved it. Then went on to Bad Batch and like it's just a vibrant, colorful world that has a huge broad spectrum of emotions, and I care a lot about those characters too. And yeah, it enriches the material when you go back to it. When you go back to Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, especially, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, this I know all this shit, and these are all my favorites. Yeah.
I can segue
Also-
this back.
Sorry for the cat that's interrupting.
No,
I
know-
love it. Please don't be sorry.
Okay, I'm not sorry. Her name is Jean. She's a beautiful. She's a beauty
Hi,
queen.
So I do. This is a really interesting point. I think it'll get us back to Flash, Ryan, which is
Okay.
I know, gonna be
Yeah,
a
no,
time.
it's all good. And then we'll start going in through the trailer.
Right. We had this experience where I was pretty cold on Rise of Skywalker for a lot of reasons. And I adore The Force Awakens, and I've got issues with Last Jedi, but there's things in Rise of Skywalker I loved, things I did not love. But the very nature of now knowing Rey's story is going to be continued, we went back and rewatched it, and not feeling like that the book is closed and they're going to be able to explore Rey and Finn's story makes me appreciate it more. Finality is really hard for our generation.
Yeah.
Because
It's hard to stick the landing too. If
it's hard
like
to stick
that's-
the landing, and it's hard to accept this is the end of this
Mhm.
series, this thing.
Because of headcanon. Like
because of headcanon, and also just because of the way franchises are. So when that's why we were kind of talking about earlier with Flash, like, is this going to be a standalone? Will this be the last time we see Michael Keaton, or are they going to be tempted to somehow keep it going? As much as, listen, I want Michael Keaton, I wanted to see that Batgirl movie, I want the Batman Beyond movie, I want all of it, but it almost feels like a very unique thing. Like, maybe this could just be a one-off, really great superhero movie, and then we move on. We all, and that's it. And we got to see Keaton one more time, and
because it still is part of a franchise, even if it's not necessarily story-wise, linked into the other DCU movies, but it is part of that overall world still.
Right. Yeah, and I don't think James Gunn wants to be tied down to anything. I think he wants to cast his own Flash.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hear it was good because you had Snyder's casting or Snyder's vision or Snyder set you up, or he doesn't want to hear it. He wants and needs a clean slate. I don't want to hear
restructuring. Exactly.
There's rumors that Henry Cavill is going to be, Ryan, at SnyderCon with a big announcement.
Oh yeah. Again, I heard he's going to be at a SummerCon.
Going for it again. Okay.
I heard that he's coming over to my place tomorrow for dinner. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
With a big announcement. Okay.
Yeah. Henry Cavill could be all of our post-credit scenes.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. I love Henry Cavill. I think when James Gunn came out and spoke and said he's been dicked around by The Rock, which is basically what he said. You know, and and I think that I don't know, it's crazy. Okay,
it's crazy. Should we get into this trailer?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're 45 minutes in.
Let's start.
And we're getting.
I didn't realize you hadn't watched it yet. Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh wait, before we go, are we talking over it, or are we just letting?
We are talking over. We're gonna pause some spots.
Checking.
And we're gonna do all that.
Before I'm like that dick, where it's like, why won't she shut up?
Yeah.
No,
definitely.
No, we can.
Live
talk.
commentary.
Like my Clone Wars rant. That was a long one. I'm sorry, you guys.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Just wait until we talk about how I feel about the ending of Mandalorian.
Hey, tell me how you feel about tall actors being cast for Wolverine.
Oh my goodness. God damn it, Lexi.
Ugh.
I'm
Ryan, you're
pressing
so
play.
tall.
Not very good.
You'll never be accurate. Wolverine.
Yeah, that's right. I hate these. Flash
Oh.
trailer starts now. I hate them so much when they do that.
All right,
Whoever
pause.
does
I'm just kidding.
it. Okay, I was ready. Did you see how ready I was?
Well, the
So
movie,
ready.
the trailer starts with this really great Keaton monologue where he explains why he's Batman.
Also, I love that design of Wayne Manor.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
Yeah,
awesome.
same here.
So
That's
gothic.
great.
All right, so that's his bruised up ass hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Ryan. Now actually pause.
I
Ryan,
did.
how does this make you feel? These Bat computers.
It makes
Batcave.
me feel like I need this as a hot toy accessory. It makes me feel like this is what I wish my workstation looked like. In my
Yeah.
And like, can my streaming setup look like that?
Yeah. Look at
Yes.
like I want to see what Batman's Twitch channel is like.
that. Did you
Like,
see Andy Muschietti at CinemaCon said he told before they did the screening that you will see the entirety of the Batcave in this movie. Is what he said.
wow.
Good. I want to explore. Yeah, that's great.
Do you think he's still mixing CDs?
Oh, I think. Do you think he has an AI
Yeah, it's like a
hologram
romantic
Alfred?
gesture. Totally.
That's what I want to know.
Oh, like
No.
from Batman and Robin?
I do. Yeah, he's still using the Alfred holograms from Batman and Robin.
Sad.
Oh gosh, I'm so
I-
sad.
I like that. I like the last. I just want this. I saw this and I was like, how do I make this my setup at home?
Yeah.
That
You
was
just-
It doesn't
First
even
one.
need to be functional. I can just like have my laptop on that desk with all of that as decorative.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I just need these boxes, and I just need a schematics of a car.
Yeah, that's all.
Like, what more could we want? I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, the drop down. How
For
does he
sure.
get in? I hope we find out.
Yep, first shot of that
I hope we
Batwing.
never find out.
Oh, I guess we're finding out now. It
Oh.
lowers down. Okay. Who is this?
Alfred.
You
We-
really?
We're not thinking
No.
Pfeiffer.
Ryan,
The
will you
ghost of Martha.
Ryan, will you play it of like 2 more seconds because it's a little dark? Yeah. Okay, so you've got a person standing in front of the Batman, armory here with all these great suits.
On the main floor, it looks like.
It's kind of a callback to '66 because the library opens.
Correct.
I was gonna say, do we think it could be an old Barbara?
Oh,
Oh.
that's intriguing. Yeah.
I'll cry if it's not Leslie Grace, but it's okay.
I'll
just
cry if it's
deserves
not Alicia
everything.
Silverstone.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Alicia Silverstone.
No? Alicia Silverstone? I can't even say her name.
So
I keep wanting to say Silverstone. Kayla Silverstone.
here there are people saying it's haggard Bruce
Old
Wayne.
Bruce.
Do we think this is a retired situation? Do we think Batman
Yes.
is he's done? He's been done for a while.
Yes, I think that the sheet on top of the Bat computer.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
Um,
noticing. You want
Yeah,
Rip
and then
it
there was
off.
later in the trailer, like in the end of this monologue, he specifically says like, "I spent so much of my life chasing it," but he says it like, I forget the exact words, like it'll play in a sec, but he says like, "I did it and it didn't get me anything, and now I'm old and filled with regret." So it definitely
Right.
sounds like he got to a point where he realized I can't do this anymore and stopped.
hmm
Right.
Grew out his
Because
hair.
we do see
started
he's looking pretty banged up still.
following around the Grateful Dead.
Eh,
And now, but so we don't think this is Selena Kyle. Maybe it is, maybe it's not.
No, because I think if Selena Kyle was around, he wouldn't be filled with so much regret. He'd be less bitter.
That's true.
Okay. Good point.
Because see, good hair.
That's true.
Like, did he like show the Batcave to Barry and then be like, you know what? I need a haircut. Be right back. And like, be
I
like,
hope
wait
there's a
here
really
and run off and
I hope there's a really fun haircut montage.
Yeah.
with the Alfred AI.
Yeah.
Like,
With oh god.
do you know actually how great the casting is for young Barry Allen?
Yeah.
Like, they look like a young Ezra Miller. It's
Ringer,
pretty fantastic,
yeah.
actually.
Right. And this trailer does a good job kind of setting up what this, the key bullet points of the storyline, right? Which, Lexi, you kind of brought it up earlier. It's pretty similar to No Way Home, and I think it could fall into the trap of No Way Home.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you have to unfuck something.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I just if the entire point of a story is to get back to where we started and then it's over, I feel like I wasted my time. I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we got these flashbacks here. I wonder if they're going to kind of take care of the majority of this setup early, first 15 minutes of the movie.
God, I hope so.
Right.
I can't do too much of Ezra Miller without like other characters I care about.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
can't.
that's the truth. Yeah.
Okay. So now we've got Zod. Ryan, we were talking earlier about Man
Yes.
of Steel. How do you feel about what are your feelings on this version of Zod?
Well, again, it's the casting was never the problem
Mhm.
with Man of Steel. Like, actually, Zod, if they bring back, I think her name was like Fiera.
Fiora?
Someone will know in the chat.
I
Go ahead,
yeah,
Abby.
I think I know. I just think
Fiora?
I know what character you're referencing. You can continue.
Right,
but-
the other his side
I was-
Yeah,
hench
FAOR.
woman.
Side muscle. Yeah.
Yeah.
That character was badass. Yeah.
I love
If
her.
she's
Mhm.
yes, if she's back as well, I am all in on this movie. And
Mhm.
it's going to be the best movie of our generation. I do love her. I did love this actor as Zod. I love
Michael-
again the costumes, the visuals, everything from Man of Steel was pretty much what I would like. Oh, I see that scrunchy face there, Lexi. But yeah, I loved that costume. I loved Cavill's costume. I thought all this stuff was cool. The terraforming was too apocalypse for me and not. But I guess that was the whole point. I think that's what it was trying to lead to was dark side, all this stuff.
And I
But,
think they needed like apocalypse. What's the word I'm looking for? And not endgame, apocalypse stakes to justify how much destruction Clark did to prevent them. Otherwise, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, he was gonna like, destroy a
Overreact
forest,
much?
and you killed 10,000 people to stop him.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Michael
murdered somebody on the way there. Come on.
Michael
Yeah.
Shannon in an interview this week said he asked Zack Snyder for his blessing before doing this role again. And Snyder was
Okay.
like, "Sure, go for it. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
He's
Just do whatever
I don't
you
care. I
want.
just won't be your
Yeah.
friend anymore if you go do the Traitors movie.
You're not in my
Yeah.
MySpace top 5 anymore.
Yeah.
You're not even in my MySpace top 10.
You're not going to be in my fake Star Wars Netflix movie I'm making."
Yeah. Oh, dude. But yeah, this is cool. I'm all for this. There's no Superman to stop him, so he can just go. Oh, I paused the. Well,
So was
That's
that
kind of-
like was that like her quiz to be like, oh, if you know this means hope, then you must be telling the truth? Like, there's no way a villain or anyone else could have known that.
It's the
So-
secret code. Yeah.
I thought they were going to go for the joke there. When
They'll
she
be like,
says, "Do you-"
it's an S, right?
well, I thought she was going to say, like, "Do you know what the symbol stands for?" I thought Ezra was going, Superman? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, that's the easy.
I hope so too.
That
Oh
was
my
the
God.
easy joke I was hoping they were
And it
going
fits
for.
Barry's personality.
Right.
I think it would have been. I hope they do it the other way around because we don't see what her answer is, and she'd be like, "No, it stands for Superwoman, you idiot."
Superwoman.
Yeah. That would be great, actually.
Like hope? Come on.
I
Yeah.
love her already. Oh,
Yeah.
her.
She
So
looks so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
we got to talk about this.
Yeah,
Kudos to
let's
him
do
for
it.
putting that on.
First off,
Yeah.
I want to talk about these gloves.
Okay.
I love these gauntlets.
Yeah,
I
those
love
are
this
badass.
costume. I love how the cape sits on his shoulders.
The yellow.
The yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Craig wants to get to the line in the fan service. We are going to get to it right now. Craig,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Well, I don't think it's going to be in the movie. I think they put it in the trailer, but I don't think it's going to be in the movie.
Bullshit.
I think it's going to be in the movie.
They
It's
can't
gonna
do
be-
that anymore. They can get sued.
Oh,
Oh, is that for real? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is a
false
thing.
advertising.
Yeah. Like I was promised.
I love that. The Craig Goldberg versus Warner Brothers. I was promised Michael
Nuts.
Keaton would say the nuts
Yeah.
line. It's my favorite line. I had emotional distress. There was no
I was promised nuts in this movie.
Affected my
We
word.
will cover every step of your trial on this channel.
Hey,
Yeah.
Patterns.
remember like before, if there's like flashing sequences, they'll put the warning
The
before the
seizure
movie.
warning, yeah.
Mhm.
They should do that with it, like trailers for this movie contain
Contain
a full-
I've
promises.
seen that warning on trailers though. I have. Like it's just a little fine print at the bottom where it says
Yeah.
like scenes shown in that must be why, because that happened. Because I have
Oh,
seen
yeah.
that actually on trailers.
Scenes in movies sold separately.
right. Listen,
The
there's
nuts
gonna
line
be
is a DLC.
Yeah.
right. You have to go to GameStop and buy a $20 card to download the rest.
DVD.
Yeah, a DVD, like one of those DVD trivia games. I think Keaton looks great. I love it's a. You just have to go to buy. This is where you have to adopt headcanon, where this version of Bruce Wayne, we only hear him say it once in Batman '89, but all of his friends know he loves saying the whole "you want to get nuts" thing. It's just like that's like a Bruce Wayne thing.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Like it's a little silly, but like part of the appeal of this movie is you're going to be like, oh, he's doing the thing I want him to do. I just hope he does more than that.
Mhm.
Seems like he's going to, but
I just imagine like Alfred going through like, oh, planning to get nuts tonight, sir.
Well, it looks like him, Car,
you
and
like
Barry
these
are gonna
nuts?
do their own like weird little trinity.
Yeah.
right? Interesting. And I don't want to comment on any speculation of other.
Like that bird's chirping. This is such a cool shot.
It
So-
is unfortunately very cool.
Yeah.
This is a very cool shot. Could
Oh,
you
man, I
imagine,
missed it. I'm
Lexi?
terrible
I
at
bet you
pause-
never thought you were going to say a shot of two different Ezra Millers was very cool.
I know. That's why it's so like because I firmly believe again like that one person does it. Like there are so many people involved in this movie that aren't Ezra Miller, which is why I don't feel like this is the stance I have to die on of don't give it money, don't go. Like there's so many people involved. It's not like the movie itself is about Ezra Miller or in their life, but I don't want to like them. But God, this moment is so cool.
It's a cool shot.
Cara, the way her cape is like, and her stance, like just the physicality of her stance too, is so like it's so visibly away from the Black Widow, the poser joke, but it's a real thing, right? Like I'm landing from going high speeds on ground, doing crazy stuff, but somehow I'm doing it with like my boobs and my butt out and like an S curve.
Yeah. This is like a
Like-
cool strength, like drawing
Right?
from the center.
Yeah, it's
to
like the
base.
wide stance with the wide base with the feet, like the strong shoulders.
It's a muscle mommy pose.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
100%, right? But
Mhm.
look at all of their
Mhm.
poses. Like, I'm just gonna call him Flash Prime, but he's got that cool, like he's almost dabbing, but he's still kind of like doing like the speed skater
It's
stop.
cool.
And then his
So
other buddy
bad.
there is like a kid with socks on a hardwood floor, right? Like it's
Me.
yeah.
There's also like this notion of, these characters have been pretty prominent in popular culture with like on the CW, and
Yes.
like
Mhm.
there was Supergirl, there was the Flash, and like this is a very like this is so much. I don't watch those shows, so I can't really comment on it, but this feels like
Grand scale.
it feels like a grand scale, and I don't want to compare things to the MCU, but this feels more like what you would see presented in a top tier Marvel movie.
Here's one thing. There's daylight, like the brightness of it, the fact that you can like zoom in and see what everybody's doing and we can talk about the positioning. Like that's not something that we've seen from a lot of these.
Watch it as soon as this. By the way, right after this scene, they're gonna do that, and then you're gonna hear, and then like Wonder Woman's gonna jump in, and like you're not getting a.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah.
The more
I
Wonder
wouldn't
Woman, the better.
either.
I'm never mad about more Wonder Woman.
No, I think it would be great.
Yeah.
Why not? Maybe
but
it'll be Nubia. Maybe it'll be Nubia Wonder Woman.
Ooh.
I will say that shot of the three of them, Ryan, is better than the Trinity reveal in Batman
Yeah.
vs Superman.
That's what
I-
I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I'm so mad that you're right. It hurts that you're not wrong.
Do you know what always made me mad about that Trinity reveal is Batman holding a
Holding
gun.
a gun.
Oh,
Yeah, that
oh.
shit.
I've heard this before.
God, I know you've heard this
I'm
before.
teasing, I'm teasing.
Oh,
I
Ryan's
got
about to give
so
his
mad.
Batman holding a gun speech.
It doesn't play. Yeah.
Ryan, you
No,
could
but
have
it's true,
erased
'cause that's
it.
an
You could have
iconic
just
button.
erased it, Ryan.
Yeah.
Just
I
kidding.
could
Take
have.
your little digital eraser and just like select, layer, delete. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Here you
look
are
at the
adding Riddler
walkie-talkie.
crap. You're adding all this Riddler
You're
crap.
over
You
here
can't go
trying
in-
to draw question marks on pillars when
Yeah.
Batman with a gun is right there. Get it together.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Priority store.
Great.
So this has got a 3-seater. It's not a 2-seater. It's a 3-seater.
3-seater.
He's already had it before. So are we thinking that he did have Batgirls, Robins?
Well, he
Took him
crashed.
to the movies.
He
Dropped
crashed
him off
the
on dates.
He
Yeah,
crashed the shit
yeah.
out of the first Batwing in the first movie.
That's true. That was a 1-seater.
Right. So this is
But now we've got a 3-seater. It's not like he was taking Alfred with that to get groceries.
he's like, hold on, because they're flying over
The avocado.
the grocery store. And he's like, Alfred, I'm dropping you off. We need nuts.
They just
Let's
keep
get nuts.
setting each other up.
Ah! Alfred, ah!
And that's how Alfred became a hologram.
He's on the back computer looking up altitude effect on McGregor's disease.
Oh my goodness. That's great.
Wait, that's wrong canon though, because they decanonized Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Okay.
R.I.P. Yeah, that's my Bruce.
Lot.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty cool shot, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
there.
look at Craig.
He's here.
He's smitten. Yeah, that's
Chasing Affleck. The
Craig's
Craig-
gonna be
the
there
Craig
opening
story.
night. Yeah. For
Is that
this.
planet Krypton behind him from Kingdom Come?
Oh.
Yeah.
Look at that neon sign.
Yep.
The rocket coming
That
off
makes
the
me so
planet.
happy.
Yeah.
I will say that, and I do think that Ben Affleck was a near perfect Frank Miller Batman. If you are looking at only that version of Batman, I thought that he did that well. It's not my favorite Batman, but it was obvious that's what they were going for. And
Right.
I think he did that version very well.
I agree.
That's well said. Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Craig, thoughts?
Um,
Are you blushing?
know, I was actually in this very moment trying to figure out was it Batman vs Superman or Justice League that has the Clark Kent Lois Lane bathtub scene.
Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
Mm.
What a
Sorry, was that too fast?
Yeah.
I was like, wow. At
That's
what moment in the movie does it
That's a
start?
good scene. What a movie.
Hour in time.
Thank
wonderful.
you, timestamp.
What a hot scene. Okay. Listen, I'm glad Ben Affleck's in this movie. It'll be cool to see a multiversal story with multiple Batman in the same movie. That doesn't seem like something I thought we'd ever see. So cool. And later shots in the trailer with Ben look great.
Abby, do you even have thoughts on this?
Nah, I'm like, it proved me wrong. I'm gonna go into it. If he's awesome, I don't actually hate Ben Affleck. I have like a little bit of empathy. And he's in stuff that I don't hate.
What a
just-
backwards ass compliment. He's in stuff I
He's
don't
in
hate.
stuff I don't hate. Yeah, Gone Girl. I like him in Gone Girl.
He's
I'm
like
gonna-
a ugly
hoping-
version of Keaton.
I don't think he's going to be the thing that breaks the movie for me because I'm going in kind of lukewarm, not really sure how I'm going to feel. So
Right.
we'll see. I'm just, like I said, kind of looking away at this moment because, yeah, Ben Affleck's not my most favorite Batman. So this is not my most favorite shot from the trailer.
By the way, this
But I'm glad it makes
Snyderverse,
some people happy.
the Snyderverse that was supposed to end like 5 years ago just somehow keeps going. Like, how is Ben Affleck still playing Batman in 2023?
It's like the
As
Snyder
we
cut.
keep
It's
getting-
still on.
We keep getting told that Affleck's never coming back.
He's
He's
done.
always back.
Always back.
He's like glitter for Batman.
Yeah.
Guys,
Can never be happy.
He's never truly gone.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And that's his Batwing, I think. Right? Yeah.
That's his. Yeah, that's definitely a Snyder-ish Batwing. But he comes rocking out of there on that bat cycle, and he's got his blue and grays on. It's
and in
awesome.
typical Snyderverse fashion, causes 10 accidents on the road.
Oh, yeah. A lot of
Yes.
casualties.
Your guys in the background, like, oh,
Yeah, shit, what the hell's happening?
He's
I
like,
think it's a word.
not Batman again. Fuck.
In the daylight.
Batman's one rule. The Ben Affleck Batman. He's like, my one rule: I have to kill people,
Yeah.
even if
Someone must die.
even if it's
Yeah,
absolutely
Batman.
unnecessary.
It's
So
all
do
Superman's
we-
fault.
Do we think that this blue and gray suit, which by the way, I'm like a hungry child. I just want this. I want blue. I don't care who's wearing it.
I'm like a hungry child.
I'm like that's it. I just don't care. Like I just want the blue and gray so bad. I will take anybody wearing it in any version of it. But do we think he wears the blue and gray because it is daytime?
I hope not, because that's real stupid.
Yeah. Camouflage.
Like what? Like you can't see him now?
Yeah.
No,
Like he
that's like
blends in so well.
camouflage.
Look at this man. He just his bat wing is 10 feet above the ground. His bat cycle is bigger than the car behind him. He's not worried about stealth, my dude.
Yeah.
Okay, that's totally fair. All right. I thought maybe he was going to
won't
match
see
with the
me.
blue sky. It's a blue sky. He'll blend in on the rooftops.
I don't think they're gonna. Yeah, I don't think
Listen,
he's
it's
putting that much thought. He's like,
Now I
gotta
know
get-
what Craig goes through on toy anxiety.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
but
Need someone to
White sky.
keep it
I
real.
I do have a lot of curiosity of the way this movie plays out as far as the universe bending. Like I have a feeling that one Affleck scene with him and Ezra will be probably close to the beginning, and this is probably closer to the grand finale where all the shit's hitting the fan.
I think there's a whole
Isn't
ton
that
of
scene
stuff
in
we
the
have
beginning? Isn't he
not
like
seen.
specifically saying, "Don't do the thing you're thinking about doing"? Right before the Flash goes and does the thing he's thinking about doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Who's she
I
holding
love
there?
her.
I know.
Who's she holding there? She's
Yeah.
holding
Henry
Henry
Cavill.
Ah!
Shut up.
She's bringing him back to The Witcher.
Bringing
Do
him
you know-
back to
she is
life.
holding young Flash. This is my prediction just from reading the comics.
To get his heart
That is
started
young
from the lightning.
Flash, and she's gonna get him struck by lightning so that he gets his powers. From
Jump start. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
She's gonna
Cool.
kickstart.
He
his
needs
superpower.
1.21 gigawatts of power.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
You are actually you're not wrong, Craig.
Thank
It's
you.
actually really cool.
Thank you.
Right?
That's hey, that's a Snyder visual if I ever saw one.
Oh, for sure.
Flying through those
Yes.
clouds.
Yes.
This
But
part
with
where
more
she yells,
color. This one had color.
Thank you.
when
Oh,
she
I
yells,
want
"What
it."
did you do?" That's one of the best parts of the trailer.
Okay.
It's just cool. She's got
Oh.
emotion. She's like,
Yeah,
a
it's nice to
badass.
see honest emotion.
It
being
is nice to
elicited,
I
see.
Yeah.
love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know when Snyder was doing these movies, anytime Cavill tried to smile, anytime anyone tried to show more emotion, Snyder just like walked up and,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joss Whedon actually had to superimpose a smile on Clark Kent at one point.
Did he do that when he
Yeah,
removed the mustache?
A
or-
lot of
Yeah,
CGI.
too.
Yeah. It's actually cheaper if we add the smile.
Yeah.
It'll be cheaper to add the smile in post somehow.
I
Really
love
good stuff.
her.
She's
Mhm.
awesome. She's
Look at that.
she's
Look at
awesome.
this.
Mhm.
Hey, can I say one more thing about her though?
Yeah.
Do you
can say
remember?
as much as you want?
Do you remember when the first set photos came out, and people were
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
People were hating.
people were hating people. Hey, we gotta stop.
I
looking-
remember that. Yeah. Fuck
We gotta
them.
stop looking at leaked set photos and making opinions of movies.
They did the same thing to Pattinson.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And to live action Little Mermaid.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
relevant, but
Oh yeah, the leaked set photos from the ocean.
well, it's the ones where she's in like a swimsuit with like a black like training fin, and they're
Right.
like, "Why does Ariel look like this?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Use
It's
2
almost like
seconds of
people-
thought, please."
it's almost like
Right.
people don't know anything about anything.
Literally,
And they just want to get mad.
like you don't think she practiced?
Mhm.
I'm so
Right.
confused.
But also, who would have thought the Supergirl suit? It is Supergirl, right?
Well, I think this is Superwoman.
I think they're gonna do Superwoman, but I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not sure
they,
either.
Right.
They could do because they're calling her Kara, so it could be
Right.
Supergirl.
Mhm.
Oh, so the paparazzi photo from 300 yards away isn't like effectively illuminating how awesome this suit is.
You mean the one where she looked extra bulky because she had the wire harness underneath her
It's like
suit?
hanging.
A literal
Yeah.
harness underneath her suit, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Why doesn't it fit better?" And I'm like, "Because she can't actually fly."
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how cool this shot is of Batman opening up his cape?
And
it's
taking on
bulletproof.
bullets.
Yeah.
That's like such comic logic, and I'm here for it.
Well, the cape looks pretty sturdy in the later scenes. I mean, Batman took bullets in Batman 89, and then they're like, peel his mask off.
Yeah, he could just like peel it off like a fruit roll up.
I love comic logic though. Like
Yeah.
I'm cool when comic movies employ some comic logic. Like I'm here for a level of like suspension of disbelief. I am.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
It's fine. Like just commit to the bit.
Well, and here we go back to Ben Affleck, Batfleck, killing more people along the way of just
A little bit of
driving.
destruction.
He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
driving.
Much like
that's
Ben
all.
Affleck's various interpersonal relationships in his life.
The
Just
wake
fucking
of-
a
yes.
cavalcade of destruction.
Hey, do you guys know where Batman is? Follow the smoke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. He's fine. I'm getting the hot toy.
All right,
That makes it okay.
We got
That's
some
another good shot.
Oscar worthy. Oh, look at this shot.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
Affleck.
that.
Just Affleck.
Again,
What
just
is
more
that?
explosions. Just leaving a big mess along the way.
Yeah.
I love this. I cannot wait for this movie.
You know, I talked to a buddy today, a friend of a friend who we're just
Yeah.
Tim, not to call him out. He won't watch this. And he's a big DC guy. And he was telling, we were talking about the trailer. I was talking about how much I was into it. And he was talking about how bad the CG was. And I was just like, I don't feel like that's even part of my conversation anymore. Even though it's like unfinished shots and it'll be better by the time the movie comes out. Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't really register with me. Like, it's just not on my radar.
But dude, yeah, it wouldn't be like that's the funny thing I always like, because I say this about like Marvel movies all the time. There's the 3 versions of Marvel movies that we get. Where it's like the trailer, where it's unfinished, the first theatrical release, again it's unfinished, and then they fine tune it again on Blu-ray and Disney Plus.
Right.
Because that's where people are going to rewatch it, freeze frames. It's easier to pick out the mistakes. And when people are watching it for the first time, like if you don't have like my like stupid eye where I have to like take notes and like find these things,
Mhm.
like nobody else is going to be looking for it or noticing. And unless it's like really, really bad, and trust me, people do know when it's bad VFX or CG work, because people will be more than happy to tell you when something is not good,
Right.
even if they have no idea what, because your eye just knows.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then when it's really, really good, people don't talk about the VFX because
Yeah.
they don't even realize they're watching VFX.
The subtler, the better. But like, yeah, I think there's a lot of people who aren't educated or know about the whole thing that goes
Or
on.
mostly numb to it at this point.
Right. Because we've been seeing,
From Marvel.
Right.
Yeah. And as you can tell, this shot here, this is actually Ben Affleck in an actual explosion.
He's doing great in his day uniform.
His
I've
day-
seen it in worse
his-
situations.
His daytime fatigues.
Yes.
it's called daylight camo. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Like a more casual look.
Lexi, you were a Marine. When you went out and did missions during the day, you wore blue
Yeah.
and gray, correct?
Yeah, my blue and gray daytime. It doesn't matter where. Like any environment, daytime blue and gray.
Yeah.
And there we go. She's out in the jungle, blue and
Yeah.
gray.
Blue and gray.
Yeah. Like, what time was it? It was like 2
Well,
in the
I
afternoon.
don't know if you
What
know
was
this, Craig. Like
Yeah, the cutoff
Marines-
point is like 4 p.m. until daylight savings. Then you switch it.
Mhm.
Yeah, she had outfits just like Batman. It was just like,
So, Lexi, you were in the Marines?
I was, yes.
Oh.
That's cool.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
your service.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
was a
And I'll
time.
make a joke.
Yeah, whatever.
So, did you have an armory of all your different costumes that, like, behind a library?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Behind this is actually my display case. I have a mannequin for every uniform I wore. And I just kind of come in here several times and look at it and go, God, I'm like Michael Keaton.
I'm
Yeah.
So
like
that's
the Michael of Earth.
she's got her daylight fatigues next to Moana and next to
next to my I've got like a Moana costume. I've got like my daytime fatigues. The
Yeah.
best part is like the bat symbol. You just have a giant eagle globe and anchor on your chest.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Full color on every single one.
just an eagle.
Just the eagle.
Just an eagle.
The globe and anchor you got to pay extra for. And I didn't make
That's
that kind of
right.
money. I was enlisted.
Good stuff.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Mhm.
I like this. All right, here we go. That looks like an electric chair.
It looks like some Dr. Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah. This is
Mhm.
where they make the third Ezra Miller.
Oh yeah, because there is a third one.
Is
Wait,
there?
is this
We
really?
saw the toys.
Oh, the Dark Flash?
I
Right.
thought that was a
Okay.
bad guy.
It is, but
no.
wouldn't it? It could technically be a third Ezra. That's what we've
I
always
thought it was
wanted,
supposed
right?
to be Reverse Flash. Or did I just make something up in my head?
I
I might
think
have
you
made
just made
something
something up in your head, but
I
that's
do that.
okay because you're probably right. Craig and I are wrong all the time when it comes to our predictions.
They are.
I've never gotten one thing right, but I talk.
No,
I hope
we
the
have
one
not.
thing Ryan is right about. I hope Michael Keaton says, or Ben Affleck something else, be like, "Well, it's daytime, so let me put on my."
Mhm. Mhm.
If that happens,
Dude, I don't know
I
what
don't know
I
what
owe
to
you,
do.
but I owe you whatever you want.
Michael
You want
Keaton's
my
like-
kid? I'll go grab my kid.
yeah,
Yours.
Keaton's
yeah,
like,
it's yours. Take it.
Our firstborn son.
Keaton walks up after the battle, walks up to blue and gray Affleck, and he's like, "So you went with the blue and grays?
Nighttime's coming up.
It's gonna be night's falling soon. Do you
I
need
got
to
a blue and
change?"
gray too, just in case I have to go outside during
During
the
It's in
day.
the trunk of my Batmobile.
See, I have way too many Kenner toys. They've affected me.
Yeah, got a gold suit.
Got a gold suit.
Got
I
a
got my
Robin.
anti-
Like,
Antifreeze suit
that
on.
is some like old comic logic though. Like you weren't wrong with or like some old Batman movie logic. Like you weren't wrong. Batman 66 would have totally pulled that.
Right.
Yeah.
It did.
Robin.
But-
It did.
Yeah.
Because it's always daytime and he was always in blue and gray. Oh.
Oh, cute.
There we
Okay.
go. This is cool. I actually like this line too. This is kind of also another dig at Snyder. I thought a little bit of the Flash saying, "No, nobody dies."
Nobody dies. Cut to
Someone's
Affleck.
gonna die.
Are you
Mhm.
sure? Come on.
Look at that.
I don't think they'll kill Keaton. I just think people would be too
No.
sad.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I think
no,
this
no, no.
is no.
No.
We'll be feeling good.
No.
I think it's gonna
Yeah.
just be Barry's mom. Re-dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to be coming out to a very feel-good movie here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Look at this.
hero-wise anyway.
So these upcoming shots are really cool.
Yeah.
So he
Like this
punches
is
through-
very comic booky. I love this. I love this.
Mid-air shit.
Okay,
yes.
this is what I've wanted. This was in some of the TV spots, and I had seen it. This shot of Keaton with the bat wing above him. I mean, this is like fanboy dream territory for me.
Oh yeah, that's a
Oh.
desktop like screensaver moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Abby,
No,
you think
this
Val
is-
Kilmer could have pulled that off?
Yeah, I do. I think he could have done great.
Do you know who
recreating this,
did
yeah.
pull that off as well?
Hmm.
Except it wasn't out of a Batwing. He actually left out of a rocket, and they surfed on rocket doors.
Yes, they did.
That was Chris O'Donnell and George Clooney.
Yes.
Amazing. I don't care what anyone says. That was such a cool. I'm watching Batman and Robin tonight.
I know. I need to rewatch these old movies. I do.
Yeah.
I haven't
Give
seen
I
them
still
in a
think we
Forever
should
hot
do some
minute.
watch-alongs.
Mhm.
We should find time and do some watch.
Yeah.
Only if you guys want me to destroy your nostalgia, because otherwise I gotta keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
lovingly make fun of them, but yeah.
Well, they're
Let's
Yeah.
put
all
it this way, as someone who's been a big fan of all these movies for so long, and a lot, like I'm a fan of a lot of things that people don't like. There is nothing that you could take away from me at this point.
Mm-hmm. Attack of the Clones. Yeah.
Attack of the Clones. What, you actually like those mod gangs from Book of Boba Fett? I'm like, yeah, I did.
like
oh,
'em.
I haven't heard that. You did?
No,
Oh, I
but you,
believe it.
but you'd believe it,
I
correct?
believe it.
But this is cool. This is a toy brought to life. This is your Mezco Batman. If Toying Around is still in the chat, that's for you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
That's
congratulations-
toyetic. Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to Kevin from Toying Around. He did get his shipping notice today after over almost 1,200 days of waiting for a shipment.
Here's something interesting. Congratulations on that. The we haven't seen the '89 Batmobile really in action at all in any of these trailers.
I think they're saving that. I think there's so much
Yeah.
that they're saving.
Oh yeah, of
Oh, they've
course.
got to be.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like everything we've seen in these 2 trailers are from the same 3 scenes.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right? And I'm okay with that. Look at that. Oh, that poor Batwing. Look at that. That's how we played with our toys. It's going right into that bathtub.
Yeah.
It's going right.
So this is cool where they show the different, they show the '89 logo, they show the Affleck logo, the Hope.
I know that.
Why is that so funny? It
So-
shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Funny.
It's because of Lois was so, again, just the writing. To me, it's still funny because it's like, why you sound so xenophobic right now, Lois? Well,
Yeah.
on my planet, it means hope. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Ruth, he is an immigrant. Respect
Yeah.
his culture. Jeez.
That sounds like that. Are you telling me that Pulitzer Prize winning reporter was going to
Yeah.
tell that man about his?
Right? Like, I
Culture?
have a lot of issue with that Lois Lane.
I'm
From
sorry.
casting. That was the one where I didn't like the casting either.
Amy Adams.
Yeah,
Amy
Amy
Adams.
Yes.
Abby,
I-
I took
can't-
umbrage.
I can't with doe-eyed Lois Lane.
Yeah.
I can't. She should give you a fear boner. And Amy Adams isn't giving anyone a fear
She's
boner.
not fierce enough. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she was always. And I just know.
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah. Deer in
that's-
the headlights. I
I
completely
can't
agree.
speak to it because I'll sound like an asshole. But Abby
No,
can.
just do it. You're in a safe space, kind of. You're
Yeah,
well,
go
you're on the
for it.
internet. so you're not-
No,
To be
go
fair,
for it.
it is still the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need
Yeah,
less
I'm in a
like
safe
damsel in
space
distress.
where everybody's watching and I have a job. So yeah, I want a little like a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
Lois Lane. Not
Yeah.
that she wasn't tough, but
No,
She
no, she
wasn't.
needs to. There needs to be a
She was
In
also really
action, more than
dumb.
words would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, she was like dumb and soft, and Lois cannot be either of those things.
No.
No.
Like the writing was
Agreed.
dumb and the acting was soft, and I just
whoa.
couldn't handle either of it.
Yeah.
love this.
Lois Lane would
Mhm.
sooner like walk over me than help me up.
Oh yeah,
Ryan,
Yeah,
you'd
so
like
Dory-
that.
I
Ryan,
would
you'd
like that.
absolutely.
That's a farm boy thing. When you grow up on a farm, that's what you look for.
Yeah.
I just would love somebody to walk over me.
I just want someone
Literally.
to walk over, maybe spit on me along the way.
Yeah. Be like hope.
Oh.
Stands for hope.
Yeah.
Idiot.
She's like, I'll give you
Piece of
something to hope
shit.
for.
You piece of shit.
Listen, Lois and Clark in the comics right now, they've been getting kinky.
Really?
Nasty. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's
kind
one
of
that
stuff?
shows him he's like getting messages from her, and it says like, let's break the sink again. I'm wearing nothing but heels. And
Oh.
then
Ooh.
straight
Yeah.
up, and there's another scene where John is like in their room for some reason. He opens their closet, and it's the Man of War, where it's just like Clark, where it's just the chains and like
Yeah,
the
it's his
underwear.
gladiator outfit.
His gladiator outfit. So John finds a gladiator outfit in the closet and is like, Mom, what's this? And she comes running in like, hey, honey, you looking for something? What's wrong? And John's like, oh my God, ew. And
We've all
It's
had
so
that
cool.
experience asking
Yeah.
our mom, what is
Yeah.
this?
John,
his
sorry,
mom
Lois and
vibrator.
Clark get down.
Wow.
Yes.
Good for them.
And
I
they
know,
should.
I love it. And they should. Have you seen
I-
this too?
Yeah, I prefer that to the Amy Adams and Cavill, like, because there was a lot of it was like two very wooden people just not
Yeah.
actually exhibiting intense emotions, which you feel like they would
Like
and they should.
there was no moment because Lois and Clark is like the quintessential like comic couple. I'm gonna say it. You know, they're the ones that you can't really mess with them, and they're so well written in so many different ways. And so to have Lois and Clark not have like just the ultimate chemistry, you're like,
Right.
come on.
Right.
Yeah. Agreed.
You
Yeah,
just don't
that bathtub
understand.
scene, yeah.
Zack Snyder's a
Yeah.
visionary. You're
Well,
right.
the bathtub scene is great because you don't really see her face; you just see Henry Cavill's back.
Right.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, that's yeah. Same here.
I don't like Amy Adams Lois. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
I don't either. Yeah, there with you.
I'm watching
Yep.
Man of Steel tonight.
Oh, here, yeah, we're watching two totally different movies. I'm gonna watch Batman and Robin. You're gonna watch Man of Steel, and
Yeah.
we're just
both
gonna have
great.
a good time.
I'm gonna
This
take a
is-
bath.
Yeah.
So this again being the 3-seater, my whole idea of like this being like this is where Batgirl and Robin sit, and Batman just drops them out.
Hey, this scene though, this goes into my theory. Skydiving scenes are the best scenes of movies.
Yes,
They're-
because they've all done it.
They're always cool.
Like
Point Break,
all of them
Fast
have,
and Furious. Yeah.
Well, not just in general. Like, I think every Batman, except for Affleck, has done a skydive
It's badass,
of some sort, right? Like, Nolan did it in Dark Knight
right?
with that
Oh,
cool
yeah.
plane shot and him swooping into that building. Like, that's cool.
It's
I know I
cool.
talk a lot of shit about Nolan, but man, that was cool.
Do you think Keaton's Batman would have had a Robin and a Batgirl?
Yes,
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I only think that, and again, I think he had sidekicks. If they do any sort of hint in here that they're not showing us, where it's a young Marlon Wayans as Robin,
Yeah.
I will lose my mind. Like, I will leave the theater, run around the theater 2 times, and then come back in and finish watching the movie.
Okay. I'd like to see that. This is a great
Well,
shot.
you just might. We all are.
I just might.
Yeah, you just might. We all might be together, the 4 of us watching this movie.
Hope so.
It might
This is
happen.
Oh, it's June 16th. I thought it was like the weekend of SummerCon.
That's
Oh.
what you said to me.
That's right.
Wait, what
Yeah,
weekend is
it's a
SummerCon?
while. We got 2
June
months.
23rd, 20th. Oh, it's before, so we can't even like hold off a week to see it either.
I know we
Like, it
can't,
comes-
but I might just come down there anyway, and we'll just watch it together, Lexi.
Yes. Or we could hold off a week.
No, we could hold off a week to do the review,
Okay.
but
That's probably good.
We are
Yeah, let's
not
do the
waiting.
review.
I'm not waiting a
No.
week to watch this movie. You
No.
kidding me?
No,
That's
I'm
like
seeing
No,
that.
I'm on Twitter too much. I can't.
Yeah. And then they do this, which is always nice now after all the DC trailers. They tell you which graphic novels and which comics to
I
pick up.
love.
Me
Mhm.
too.
Love.
This is always such a nice treat when they kind of tell you, like, hey, go visit our website, go to your local comic shop or bookstore. Come on.
And
That's
I mean,
great.
you know me, I'm a firm proponent that however you enjoy these characters, animated, live action, comic, video games, like it's all valid. It's all, I believe that with my whole heart, but the comics are where it starts, like
Right.
the comics are where these characters originate, with exceptions, always like Harley Quinn and stuff. Pretty much every movie took some story ideas from comics. Like I love that DC is giving the comics the recognition that they deserve and making it easy because it's so hard to start getting into comics. So the fact that they say, hey, you liked this movie? Here's 3 books. Hey,
Unlike
you liked the
Marvel.
unlike Marvel. Like, hey, you like the Superwoman movie? Here's Superwoman, Woman of Tomorrow. Like, they make it easy. And I love that and I respect that. And I know that's James Gunn. That's entirely James Gunn's hand coming in here.
Marvel's
Hell
like,
yeah.
watch where it all began on
Yeah.
Disney Plus.
Marvel's
Yeah.
like, oh shoot,
Yeah.
did someone put this in a book? What?
Well, even, do you know what's always ticks me
Yeah.
off about their, like, because they do, what is it, Marvel Visions? Because I know Star Wars does Gallery where they do the
Right.
the making of, and I know that they do that with the Disney Plus shows. They're doing it with the movies now too.
Mhm.
But they'll always talk about maybe one part of the comic, but maybe not all of it. Like Hawkeye, watching the making of Hawkeye made me so mad because they kept referring to it as Matt Fraction's Hawkeye. Matt Fraction's Hawkeye, which is fine, but they used so much from David Aja's artwork, from the font, the title cards,
The
the
costume
visuals,
design.
just like even some of the fight scenes, all this.
Well, they're movie posters. They'll sometimes rip right out of a comic panel
and
and
they
never acknowledge the original artist.
They never acknowledge the artist. They only acknowledge the writers.
Yeah.
And the writers do deserve props.
Oh yeah.
But holy shit, man. Like you gotta, like the artists are also what are bringing these words to life. Like,
Marvel has done so many like one-to-one recreations of comic panels onto the big screen, and often they are some of the most iconic images that end up coming from those movies. And I think it's great they do that, but the fact that they never acknowledge that it's like, because to me it's a cool thing, like be like, hey, this was a really cool comic panel. Look, we brought it into the movie. Like people want to see the comics brought into the movie that way. So it's not like they lose anything by acknowledging it either. Which is what's so frustrating for you. It's not like people go, that was in the comic first. Well, now I don't want to watch it.
I think it's like
it pulls people into the material, like the content that they are already enjoying. And it's like, here's further educational reading, and that's fantastic. Honestly.
And it could just create more like loyalty in the fandom. It just like there's just no downside, which is why I don't get it.
Yeah, transparency almost, like instead of shouting it all.
I mean, if you look at any 80s or 90s documentary about Superman or Batman, it always starts with acknowledging the origins and the comics, like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think that's really important. But maybe
Yeah.
I'd like to think it's just oversight and not maliciousness. But
I think in Marvel specifically, they've done it often enough and repeatedly enough now that it is a conscious choice.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like they've had what? Geez, how old are we? How many years? Like 15 years of their movies now, where they haven't done it once, and they've been pulling these images for how long? Like
Right.
it's a
Yeah.
choice now.
That would be like, it's like, that's what worries me about there. At some point, they're going to do X-Men. We know it's coming,
it's coming.
but they're
coming.
going to acknowledge
happen.
they're going to acknowledge Stan Lee and Chris Claremont, but they're not going to acknowledge. Well, they might acknowledge John Byrne, but they're not going to acknowledge Cockrum. They're not going to acknowledge Jim Lee, Silvestri, right? All these, like, and again too, like, to not acknowledge Silvestri. I think, well, Deadpool acknowledged Rob Liefeld, but again, that was Fox and that was Ryan Reynolds. And you know, and to not acknowledge Jim Lee, any of those big 90s artists, and I hate to say it, all the ones that left Marvel to go form Image, they were those 5 guys, they created the $1 million sales in comic books, whether we like it or not. Like, it's just, and the fact that they don't get any love. I always try to fight. I always try to fight for McFarlane a little bit, because I know we like to give him shit about his toys, and like, we do lean on him
Not
hard.
me. I've been desperately searching for a McFarlane Batmobile for 3 weeks. Can't find it anywhere.
It's not even so much that, because we've all bought his toys, Craig.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm just saying,
You're
like,
right.
and we have acknowledged the fact that he is like, he has broken through so many walls in comics and in the toy industry, just in general, that like, just Todd, just his drive and him wanting to change things and make it better. But I still feel like overall, from the bigger companies like Marvel, it's like they would rather pretend Todd does not exist. So I don't know what the backstage politics and drama is behind that.
Well, I'm sure there's
Toy
a
Arts
lot
has
of
also
it.
mentioned Art Adams. I need to acknowledge that as well, because he's such. Also, they're going to pull so much from Arthur Adams as well, and he's probably not going to get any acknowledgement. But I'm just saying, in general, like, there's so many legendary artists that have done so much that are not getting the acknowledgement through Marvel. But DC,
Well, you guys have a show, and that you get to do it.
oh, we do it.
You got to be the voice of
Yeah.
the voiceless.
I yell about these guys all the time.
I scream every week that Ryan doesn't let me bring up comics in some way, shape, or form because he's talking about movie trailers.
I know.
Right.
But we
know.
appreciate you guys having us on. I
Yeah.
mean,
Thank you.
overall, I'm excited. I thought it was a good trailer. I don't think I'll watch any more trailers for this movie. I want to go in.
Be
You want to go in
surprised. Yeah.
fresh? So fresh,
Yeah, because
so
you know,
clean?
the week before, they'll start dropping TV spots that give away most of the movie.
Yeah.
I'm going to give, since Lexi does want to talk a little bit about comics, I do want to show my pickup that I got in the past week.
It's okay,
I did post it on our Instagram, but I did grab this. Legends of the
Ooh.
Dark Knight, the Jose Luis Garcia Lopez collection. As you can see, he's wearing his daytime outfit.
His superpowers,
yeah.
daytime.
That's correct, Craig. This is the guy that did all the artwork for the Superpowers packaging. This is what the toys are based off of.
Look at that. Look at
Anytime
me.
you see like a Wonder Woman shirt or a pint glass of Superman or whoever, it's usually his artwork. And they did a collection that just came out of all the comics that he's done. It's pretty thickly, and it's absolutely amazing. The colors are just, again, if you didn't want to read this, but you just want to look at pictures that look like the toys,
You know,
this
can
is for you.
I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I can and do read. I don't get to say that a lot on our channel, but Abby, can you back me up?
Yeah, you read online articles and yeah. You take in reviews, mostly of movies and toys. But yeah, no, you're good.
Sure. I've read so many books in the last 2 years. They're just not, they're like autobiographies of political figures. I'm boring. But
No,
anyways,
it's fine. I'm
that's
just
great,
saying,
Ryan.
But this is amazing, and he's another artist as well that everyone knows his work, but nobody knows who's doing it. And it's actually no fault because DC talks about him all the time, but it's just somehow he falls under people's radar when you say Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. And a lot of, unless you're like a hardcore comic reader, a lot of people just kind of go, eh? They're like, you're wearing his artwork on your shirt right now. And they go, oh yeah, I love it. And I'm like, of course you do. This dude's, he did the whole 80s thing, like oh God, Toy Art, help me out. I know you're in the chat. He did like the visual guide. So it tells you all who uses what color. It's a style guide, the DC comic style guide. His is the most sought after. So if you find his 80s DC comic style guide by Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, they usually go over $300.
Wow.
And they're super hard to find. But if you go on his Facebook page, he's got them all scanned. Oh, so cool. You can actually find them all online on in PDF form and on his Facebook. So just a heads up on there if you want to see more of his artwork. So I just want to give props to that.
Cool. Good stuff.
I'll just do a really kind of quick, brief comic summary of some of the things that we didn't really touch on last week either, since I know you guys were here for the trailer tonight. We have guests and everything, but just kind of the big things we're looking at right now. I think one of the biggest changes we're seeing in Batman's continuity is obviously Tim Drake is once again stepping aside as Robin. His solo series was canceled. And we don't really know what's going to happen with him next. It's kind of up in the air. It looks like Damian Wayne will be coming back to be Batman's consistent Robin in the Batman and Robin run. And also, I mean, it's not going to be for another month, but they've already, released some information about it. May 30th, DC's Pride anthology for 2023 will be dropping. And, I will absolutely do a dedicated stream just about that. Hopefully my boy John Kent gets treated way better this year than he did last year. I need to double check. Hopefully Devin Grayson, the writer, is not invited back to write again. And I have no qualms with speaking ill about her work.
Cool.
Good.
Totally fine with it. But yeah, those are some of just the big ones we're touching on right now. There have been a little bit of, since the wedding between Bruce and Selena was called off, we've seen a little bit more of Bruce and Talia. Some hinting of reconciling there, some really dramatic moments. I don't think it's going to go too much further, but I do think that it's going to be neat. But yeah, that's pretty much the big things I wanted to touch on.
Awesome.
Nope. That's awesome. Next week we'll do a bigger episode on comics.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're the movie. I've watched the trailer, but you guys are killing it. I don't know if a lot of people are doing what y'all are doing, and I think that it's very awesome. Yeah. The knowledge is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it. I respect it.
Thank you. Well, thanks for being here. You guys were wonderful.
Oh,
I'm glad I got to meet you.
Yeah.
I know. We didn't even do like a pre-greet meet and greet. It was just thrown right in.
A live meeting, yeah.
No, this was great. And anytime.
I just want to do one quick plug one more time on our road to 1,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
Yes.
Right? So we are getting closer to that. So just for anyone that came in late, like as soon as we hit 1,000, we will be doing like the weekly prize and the giveaways. And we're going to do members only, like just small streams, most likely like Ask Me Anything, that kind of stuff. So we do want to do those. So you have some incentive to help us out and help grow this channel. But once we reach there, so I've got statues that will be going up, as well as the prints, the Across the Spider-Verse crew merch, and the Across the Spider-Verse art of. All of that will be up for grabs weekly once we hit 1,000. And I know that we're just a little bit over half. We're almost at 600. But let's try to get to 1,000 by by summer.
End of summer?
By end of summer. Let's try to get there by end of summer. So if you like this, if you enjoy this sort of like banter and the guests, and we're gonna try and get more comic guests on, and Lexi and I will be going to SummerCon in June as well, end of June. So we'll be doing that, and we're gonna try and get interviews with like Marv Wolfman and Mark Waid and all those other fantastic, amazing writers and talent that work on this stuff.
Yeah, do it.
And yeah, so that's kind of the plan. We still got emails from Emerald City that we haven't had a chance to even email yet. So I still want to get some of those comic guests on the show. And I want to get some other like comic book YouTubers on the show at some point too, just to kind of talk comics. So again, if you have anyone that you would love for us to try to bring on at some point, feel free to leave a comment when this is all said and done so that we can see it and try to see if we can do it.
And maybe at a certain subscriber number, I'll issue a public apology to Ryan for making so much fun of daytime Batsuit.
No,
Sorry,
don't
that went as hard as it did.
That was super funny. I deserve that because sometimes you become a big kid when you watch this stuff. So you get
absolutely, especially with Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Ryan, if that's what you think it is, that's what it is.
Darn right.
But we're like an hour and 40. See, this is I told Lexi like, it's okay, we'll be a hard out in an hour.
That's what I thought.
No. Yeah, it's midnight our time.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
there's too much. But Abby, do you want?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna sign off here. Do your plugs.
Oh yeah.
Plug the thing we do.
Toy Anxiety every Tuesday night. Ryan's
Thank
a part
you.
of that. We also have a Patreon for Yes Have Some podcast, and we have a Yes Have Some channel on YouTube. So search for that, and you can get our content, which is mostly Star Wars, Ghostbusters, toys. And this has been a blast. I really appreciate y'all having me on and having Craig on.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys again. I can't say it enough. It is awesome having you here, your time and midnight and all of that.
No, you're great.
I just want to say good morning to Sammy.
Good morning, Sammy.
Good morning.
Good morning. We're just finishing up, Sammy, so hopefully you catch the replay.
Catch the replay.
Play it while you get ready for your day.
But yeah, and Abby, where can they find you on Instagram?
Instagram /_mommy. You'll find me and all my links.
Awesome. Craig, anything that you need to plug? Ghostbusters Radio, anything?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing another episode of Ghostbusters Radio Live next week on Yes Have Some. Working on some cool guests for YHS coming up, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be doing Toy Connections this Sunday.
Right.
I think we're gonna be talking about crowdfunding, and maybe we're getting a Star Wars HasLab announcement next week. Maybe not. We'll see.
Ewok Village confirmed.
We'll see. But like Abby said, Toy Anxiety every Tuesday night. You guys know, and we just appreciate being here with you guys, and we thank you for the invite.
Yeah.
Well, Lexi, I'm going to let you. I have my button on the end broadcast, and I'm going to let you.
You're hitting it or I'm hitting it?
I'll hit it, but I'm going to let you get the last word.
All right. Hey, I mean, we're all here because we love Batman. We love DC Comics. I'm so excited for everything that's coming up. If you have the interest and, to go give the comics themselves some love, I'm always going to plug them because that is where my heart is. But I'm so excited, aiming to be back again next week. And thank you again to our guest tonight and to all of you. And we'll see you soon. Good night, Gotham City. And thanks for tuning in.
Awesome. Thank you.